And you're on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Muscle Car Madness, or no, Muscle Car Mania? Muscle Car what?
This is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. You know what day do we do the radio program here?
Monday.
Monday, and we haven't been doing them. Why?
Who's had time to do radio shows?
Well, it's not that. We've had a server move that we had to get through.
Well, that too.
Because we keep increasing the bandwidth and we have to get a larger server because we've got so many videos that we have to deal with right now. Right, Jeremy?
Probably about 60 hours a day of videos.
That's being viewed.
Yeah.
And we need a huge, enormous jet plane size server in order to accommodate all that. And that's what we've got finally hooked up. And we're ready to rock and roll with that now. Right, Jeremy?
Dual Xeon processors with half a gig of memory.
Yeah, which means it's enormous.
It smokes.
It has to do what we need it to do, and we're getting that handled. It's done. We're just getting the kinks out of it. So if you've got a little bit of problems here and there, let us know about it because we're refining everything. And we are going to be making a few changes to the website that'll be coming up soon. And I believe we've got another show, radio show scheduled for May, Jeremy?
Yeah, middle of May sometime, 17th or something like that.
It's going to be a catch-up so that everybody can get caught up. We're going to be doing it on the current situation of the market, the classic car, muscle car market, what the status is, what's hot, what's not, what's going on. So you want to make sure that you don't miss that show. It's going to be a good one. So anyway, I'm standing next to another new arrival here, and I'm really excited about this one too. I get excited about all the cars that we have here. Some of them get to me a little bit better and deeper. This one does. I'll tell you why. This is an extremely rare car. It's a GTS 383 4-speed car. Now, we've had a couple GTSs that have went through the doors here. We have an automatic here that we're doing some detail work to right now. This one just came in from California, and it's a 4-speed car. The last two that we've had here, automatic cars, this is a 4-speed. They are extremely rare. Very hard to find this car. Now, this was a big-time sleeper on the street back in the heyday. I'll tell you why it was a sleeper. Most of these cars, the darts back then, they were 6 cylinders or they had the small V8 in it. This car is a factory conversion with the 383. They didn't make a whole lot of them, and it's all documented here. We're going to be going over the paperwork here and tell you what it is in terms of how it was built. But these cars, with a little bit of work on them back in the 60s, were extremely fast. You could get these cars into the 12-second range, even down into 1190s. No BS, the truth. So this was a factory sleeper. They're extremely potent. It's just a 300 horse motor, but because of the light body on this car, they were just unbelievable performers on the street. If you were into street racing back then and you really knew your stuff about these cars, this is a car you wanted to get because it was strictly business on the street for racing. Now, this car was born white. This is the original color. It's got a burgundy interior, which I call it burgundy, but it officially is listed as red. But it's still a vinyl interior, and it's beautiful. It's a bucket seat console car with a wood wheel, and it's also got the original shifter. I know that that's been reworked a little bit to shift better because the factory shifters that they had weren't like a hearse. So they were sloppy as could be. You tried to speed shift to get a good straight inline speed shift. If you know what we're talking about, that's when you have the accelerator down to the floor and you're slamming the gears in first, second, third, fourth, so that you wouldn't miss a shift. Most of these cars had hearse shifters put in them. That was a better shifter to be able to do that. What some people have done today is to take a hearse box, the shifter box, and put the original style shifter handle on it, which this car has been done that way. So you get a good crisp hearse shift out of it, but it's got the original shifter, knob, ball, handle, everything that's in it. So it looks completely stock, which is a good thing. Now this car was produced and built on Wednesday, November 15th of 1967. I wonder what was going on in November 15th of 1967. I don't know, we'll have to research that, huh, Jeremy?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head because that's going back when I was in grade school. Because I'm old, but I'm not quite that old. As my daughter always said, back in the day, Dad. So it was back in the day. But anyway, this car, as far as we know, has been in California most of its life. Some of the options going down on it, and I want to break this down. What you get with a GTS car, as far as the code to know that it is a true GTS car, LS23. Now that means that it is a Dart GTS. But here's the key. If you have the fender tag, you have to look at the fender tag, and you will see on the bottom line, you'll see LS23, and then you'll see 6.2. That 6.2 means 383 4-barrel, 300 horse engine. That was a conversion from the factory to get this engine option, which again is very, very rare on these cars. Now these cars are going to greatly appreciate, they already have, but they're going to go off the Richter scale as more and more of these cars surface, which they're beginning to do, and people are learning about Mopars, what is rare and what isn't. This is an extremely rare Mopar car here, and it's a car that is a great investment for the future that you're going to own it. So this car is going to greatly appreciate in the next 5 years. So get in on the ground floor. You can get on that elevator and get to the top of the John Hancock with this car, because it's going to do nothing but go straight up like a rocket. Now also, this car was built with a 4-speed manual transmission, which is an A-833 code, but it's on the bottom line, it's LS2362, that's the engine, 383, and 3 is the 4-speed, so it's a 4-speed manual trans. It was also built with what is not on the car now, white striped tires, which is white walls, which nobody liked them. Probably what they did back then, and I would have done this too myself, I would have got the car with the white walls on it, I would have taken them off, I would have put a set of black walls and a set of Kragers on it, because that was what everybody was running around on the street. But when I had my car in 1972, I couldn't afford Kragers, so I had to get Rockets, but that's another story, another time, and another deal. Anyway, we have drip rail moldings which were put on it. That's the chrome going around the windows here. We have body belt moldings, which is the chrome on the top of the windows and going into the rear quarters. We have wheel lip moldings, which I don't see a lot of these cars with them on, so that's a real cool thing. Now here's another awesome option on this car. It's a 391 sure grip in the back. So that's a good thing. We're talking about posse, and it's a 391 gear. 391 is equivalent to Chevrolet 411, 410, 410, 411. It's the same, but that's usually what you're going to find in most of the GM products. But in Oldsmobile and Chrysler, we're talking about 391 gear ratios. So anyway, the trim grade is a sport, which means it's the upgraded interior in it. It's a little bit more plush than the standard interior, and it's vinyl interior. It is a red inside with the trim, white outside, white body color, and the paint stripe in the back, which Jeremy will be showing you, is red. Also, the upper door frames was coated on this car to be red. They could have been white. So this one was specified as ordered with red above the door panels inside where the little moldings is. So that's kind of neat too. That's another option on this car. Also, we have buckets and console, which we'd already mentioned on this car. So we do have some paperwork on this that tells you all the goodies about this car, which is a good thing. And the condition of this car is just in excellent condition throughout. This is a real dry Western car. It runs, drives, stops, steers, brakes, does everything that it should, just like it was back in the day. Back in the day, like my daughter said. That doesn't mean that it's new. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of you people think that when you look at these cars, they're new. They're not. They're still 30-plus-year-old cars. We have excellent quality cars here, but I'm telling you right now, I don't sell a new car. I know no one anywhere on the face of the planet that sells an old car that is a new car. This is an excellent car, and it will do what you need it to do, but please, it's not a new car, folks. This car also, the chrome on it, the bright work is in excellent shape. Now, a lot of the problems that you have with a lot of these cars, the grille work, the stainless around headlights, the trim around the tail lights, the back tail panel, they're not perfect. You can't get repo parts for these cars yet. I think the day is going to come that they're going to remanufacture some of these parts, because there is a huge movement across the country right now to get into Mopar cars because of their investment values and potentials. So what that does is that allows the manufacturers to say, you know what, we need to fill that void that these people need parts for, so let's go out and find certain cars that we can manufacture the parts that we can sell a whole bunch of them, which is a good thing. All of the darts, the GTs and the GTS cars, they need to start manufacturing the tail panel between the tail lights. They have already started to do that on the standard Dart. Now the next step will be the bigger ones like that is on this car. This one is not perfect. It is excellent original, but it is not perfect. So as we go along here, the more value that these cars have, the more parts that are going to be available for them, and they are starting to produce cars for parts for Mopars now. So that's something that when they start doing this in the next 5 years, for Mopar cars, you'll be able to get into a book and order almost anything for them. That's what happens. When the need is there, they fill the need, because you know what, folks? If they can mass produce the parts again, they're going to sell a whole lot of them. Used parts are bringing a whole lot of money, and used parts are not new parts. If you find NOS parts for one of these cars, it's not uncommon to pay $400 or $500 for just a taillight housing in the back. True story. Some of the e-body mirrors, the chrome ones, I was just at a huge show. There's thousands of people that were there. I was talking to a gentleman that had a 71 CUDA 344 speed car. He paid $1,500 for a new NOS chrome mirror for his car. So that's just to give you an idea of how much money some of the parts are. That also goes into the fact of why these cars are so rare, because it's very difficult to get parts for them. But as I said, they're starting to manufacture parts, and a lot of that's going to happen. Now, if you need to get some more information about this car, give Ed a call, 847-526-5950. He'll be glad to go through this car with you and give you any more information that you would like to get about it. I'm going to turn you over to Jeremy, and he's going to give you a great guided tour of this beautiful 68 GTS 383 4-speed car.
Well, let's go for a walk around here. Check out under the hood first. 383. Nice and clean under the hood. Non-power brakes, non-power steering. Let's see if we can check out the fender tag here. See if night shot helps. Makes it worse. There you go. Pretty readable. Let's check out the rest of the car. What do you see here? Mr. Norm's Grand Spalding Dodge. Dyno tuned. You don't see that too often. That's, for those that don't know, that's a Chicago-based Dodge dealership that used to make some pretty hefty muscle cars in the 60s. Once again, Mr. Norm's on the back. Don't know if it originally was a Mr. Norm's car, but could be. Chrome work is not bad. Bumper's in excellent condition. The tail panel here, it's got a couple of dings. It happens. It's over 30 years old. Let's take a look on the inside while we're on this side. Super Sun Tack, original 4-speed in the console, oil pressure gauge, factory AM. Interior is really in beautiful condition. Remote mirror. Headliner's in excellent condition as well. Take a look at the back. Back here it's also in excellent condition as well. Let's light shot some of this stuff so you can see. Let's kill the night shot and continue looking around the outside of the car. Let's check out the wheels. These are in pretty good shape, actually. This car, by the way, has not been detailed yet, so it will be a little cleaner, but it's all done. Let's go to the other side. Oh, check it out. On the antenna, we've got the 76 ball. That was from Union 76, the gas stations. Remember, Mr. Norm's Sport Club. Let's check out that stripe from across here. Looking pretty sporty. Now we'll check out the front. Once again, we'll close the hood. Last peek under the hood. Let's do a night shot real quickly too. Okay, close it on up. Looking pretty good. 68 GTS.